So in this lesson, we are going to learn how to write a script which will take input from the user and then produce an output. And in this case, the input will be the component of a force, which is the vertical and then the horizontal component of a force. Then it will calculate for the resultant force and then display the value of the resultant force to the user. So let's do this. So before we start, we have to use comments in the code, okay, so that anyone reading this code or this script will understand what you are doing. I'm going to use the comment. So to use comment, use the percentage symbol, okay, then write your comment. So you say what, let x be the horizontal component, okay, that's the horizontal component of the force. Then another comment, we say let y be the, that's the vertical component, okay. Then I also say that let r be the resultant force, okay. So these are the comment that you've included in the script, okay. So this is to help anyone reading this script understand what you are doing here. So after that, let's start with the code itself. So the variable x, okay, you have to take input from the user, okay. So we set x to be equal to input, so you have to take input from a user. So we are not just taking input, you have to tell the user the type of input that you want. So you are going to write here that the user should enter the x value, okay. This is the value of the horizontal component, okay. So after doing this, let's bring a colon here and then a space, okay. Then let's close the bracket and then terminate the statement. So let's move on to the next line. Then let's set y also, which is equal to input because we are taking input from the user. Okay, so let's tell the user what to do. So the user is to enter the y value. Okay, so let's bring the colon and then the space. Then let's bring the quotation mark. Then we terminate the statement. So after doing this, we have to calculate for the resultant force. Okay, so I'm going to comment that calculating for the resultant force. Okay, so now to calculate for the resultant force, we are going to use the formula r equals what, the square root of what, the x component squared, that's x to the power 2 plus the y component squared. Okay, so we take square root of the square of what, the x and then the y component. So let's terminate this statement also. So after doing this, we have to display the result to the user. Okay, we have to display the result to the user. So I'm going to use comment. Then write display result to the user. So I'm using this comment so that anyone reading this code will understand what you are doing. Okay. So now here we are going to write a line of code which will display the result of what, the resultant force to the user. So let's go ahead. So I'll use the display command. Okay, then we don't want to display just the value for the resultant force, so let's add some text to it to make it look friendly. Okay, so use the quotation mark here. You can use double quote or single quote. So you are going to display resultant force r, okay, resultant force r. So I'm going to display this force. Okay, so we displayed it before we display what the value of what, the resultant force. You understand how this works later on in the video. So let's go ahead. So I bring comma, then I'll display the actual resultant force value, which is R. So you see that what I didn't put this R here in quotation marks. Okay, this is because we've already defined R here. Okay, we've already defined R here. This is a string, that's why it is in what quotation marks. It could be double quotes or single quotes. So after doing this, we have to what, run our script. But before you run it, we have to what, give it a name and then save it. So let's look at how we are going to do that. So I'll move on to the file option here and I'll go to save file. Okay, so I'll give it a name. So I'll name it as resultant. Okay, so I'll name it as what, resultant. Then you choose the file extension, which is what, .m. Okay, so it is already selected here, which is what, the file type. Okay, so if .m is not selected, then you have to what, select it yourself. Okay, so after that, then you click on what, save. So after saving it, you see the name of what, of your script here as what, resultant.m. So to run this code, just go to the command window and then type in the name of what, the script. So that's what, resultant. Okay, after typing resultant, then you hit on what, the enter key. So when you hit on the enter key, it will run the code for you. So the code is asking us to what, enter the x value. So you just have to enter your x value, which is what, 45. Then I'll enter the y value, which will be 30. So then it will calculate for the resultant force and then give us the result. So you see that what they've written here, that resultant force R equals what, 54.083. That's the purpose of what, this line of what, the code. So this line of the code will first what, display resultant force R, like what we have here. Then to actually what, display the value. And then this line of code here, okay, that's the line 5 here is what you have here, which is asking us what, to enter the value of the x. And then this one here also is also asking us what, to enter the value of the y. Then to calculate for the resultant force. Okay, to calculate for the resultant force and then give us what, the answer here. So this is how to write this kind of what, script. Okay, so I'll show you how the flowchart diagram for this code will be. Please don't forget to subscribe and then like this video. Thank you very much.